Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more.
The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show. I'm your host, the big guy, Ryback. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Streaming live. TikTok, the big guy, Ryback22. Instagram, the big guy, Ryback22. Thank you guys for joining the live stream, straightening those out a little bit there for you guys. Those live streams will stop at some point in the show, guys. So make sure you swing on over here. YouTube, Ryback TV. Super chats are greatly appreciated where you can be a part of this show. I will get to those in between taking calls over here on Twitter at Ryback at Twitter Spaces. Thank you to all my great loyal subscribers on Twitter. I do follow all Twitter subscribers back and try to interact with you guys. Not necessary to be part of this show, though, and to call in with your thoughts or concerns, health, fitness, supplementation, pro wrestling, sports, and anything and everything in between. This show also streaming on Facebook at Ryback Reeves and Twitch at Ryback Rules. We are on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. Monday through Friday, guys, the live show here. But if you can't catch the live, subscribe on the audio, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever Android, nothing against that. Whatever they have on there, the Podbean, Pod Tower, whatever they are. You guys, the Ryback show is available on all of them. Those 5-star reviews keep coming in. Thank you very much. And if you have a moment to write a review, greatly appreciated. Shawnee, I see you in here. Shawnee left a review, guys. He's a great person. He left a star review and wrote one. Shawnee comes on the show daily. You want to get picked on the show? Go leave a damn review. Okay. Guys, this show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors for all people, men and women, he, she, and thee. FeedMeMore.com. New customers can save 30%. Discount code RYBACK30. Returning customers can save 20%. Discount code FEEDME20. And you get a free Feed Me More Nutrition shaker bottle with all orders. But guys, we have a very, very special deal going on today and tomorrow for our email and text message subscribers. But I'm making it available for you guys both days. If you want to sign up for that email and text, guys, very valuable, huge savings. Today, guys, with the purchase of any supplement, any full price, any full price supplement on the website or stack or supplements, guys, but one of the supplements or stacks, you get a free Feed Me More Nutrition shaker bottle and a free tub of my ISO Hungry plant-powered premium protein powder, vanilla mocha, ladies and gentlemen. That alone is a $49.99 value, plus the shaker, a $14.99 value, just under $75, ladies and gentlemen. Yours free for just buying one or more of the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition. We've got all the Ryback merch, all the accessories, all the workout accessories, all the drinkware, all the ball caps, the tank tops, the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, the men's, the women's. We've got the whole shebang. FeedMeMore.com. And reading the chat here, someone says, I need an autograph, bro. Cool. Thank you very much. Don't know what to say to that. We got to try to get one of those meet and greets. Hello. I did fan mail for free, by the way, guys, for like 6 years. I don't know any other wrestler. I literally did fan mail to my P.O. box for free for 6 years. For everybody that said, I don't do it anymore for free. I did it for 6 years for free with that, guys. And people send stuff and they put there's a payment thing on the description in the YouTube that if you want stuff signed with it, because I did the 6 years free for you on that. And if you want it, there's a way to do it still. You've got to pay for it, and then I'll get to it. I'll go get the P.O. box every couple weeks and sign them, send them back with that. But we don't do it for free anymore. 6 years free. You're not going to find that anywhere else. But hey, I'm such an, you know what, and a bad person. Get the Trinidad and Tobago in the house. Oh man, I'd like to smoke a doobie over there. Had a great vacation when I was younger in the Bahamas with an ex-girlfriend now. She lived, Jackie from Louisville. Man, me and her family went over there a week. It was a week of just no working out. I smoked cigarettes for the week. I never have smoked cigarettes, but she was a smoker. Drank vodka just like it was water all week. Cigarettes, and then her mom gave the talk right off the bat that the meet the parents talk. Let's keep the snake in the cage for the next 7 days. All right, big guy. And I was going to abide by the rules. But that ex, she was a real troublemaker. She was a real rebel. Literally the moment the mom left the house, she shut the door and she said, "Screw my mom's rules." And I go, that's not right. We can't do this. And sure enough, the mom came back and yeah, but probably about 30 times that week where the mom was in the vicinity, her daughter felt like proving the mother wrong. And who was I to say no? Who was I? I'm not going to say no to that. Would you? She was a real looker. Wild one, Jackie. She liked her booze and her cigarettes, though. And she quit. But that was a hell of a week in the Bahamas. I'll never forget, we were in the water. Her mom and her aunt are on the beach. The water's crystal clear there. Crystal clear. But we were pretty far out. About a little about waist, maybe a little above waist deep. And even right there, the daughter just, "Screw my mom's rules." And I'm like, your mom is literally looking right at us. And she didn't care. So I didn't care. Her mom probably didn't like me very much, though, because she probably put that all on me. But it was her daughter. I can assure you of that. I was going to abide by the rules. I'm a good person. All right. Let's see here. Rated R Gamer says, before we take some calls here, throughout your wrestling career, you must have encountered various opponents with different wrestling styles. Can you tell us about a particular opponent who pushed you to your limits? An opponent who pushed me to my limits. No opponent pushed me to my limits. It's physical acting. So the limitations come into the form of if you're not prepared or not. No one person. I'd like to think I had a very high tempo pace that I could keep at all times. I would have to typically slow down. I'm not even exaggerating. I would have to slow down, not slow down and going for moves, but I didn't need breaks to catch my breath too often with that, where other people did a little more. So I don't know. I would ask them who did I push to their limits, because I know a few that I did that are pretty big names in the business with it, and always made me chuckle. But that's being a pro. You slow down, you make sure everyone's on the same page, and you keep it good. All right, we're going to kick off the show with Seany today. He puts me in a good mood. Seany is a Ryback show regular here. Seany. There he is. Seany, you there? I can't hear Seany. Hold on. Is there something wrong with the... Hold on. Let me add you again as a speaker. It says you can now speak. Maybe let me... let me remove you. We're going to try... I just wanted... Seany, we're going to bring you right back. Let's see if it's your phone or if there's something going on my end. Because my microphone was undone prior to this. I had to it might be on my end, or it might be on Seany. Let's bring a new caller on here. Kale, bring some Kale onto the show. Hello, Kale, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, how are you doing, Ryback?
I'm well. Okay, Seany, something's going on with Shawnee's microphone. Then we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm well. What's on your mind today, brother?
I'm not going to be as funny as Seany, but I do have some questions. It might be outside of your area of expertise, but I figured I'd ask you because you're a dog guy and you're big into supplements. So my dog has had a limp for a while now. It'd be off and on, but it started yesterday. He was not able to maintain the pain, and now he's very inactive, and he's an active dog. So I was wondering if you had any recommendations, suggestions, anything that might have worked for you in the past as for supplements to help with pain and inflammation until I can get him into the vet tomorrow night.
So I do actually know the supplement that I got Sophie on for her disc disease that has given her all her energy and everything back. You could buy it on Amazon or like certain pet food stores. I found it first from a lady at the pet food store here who was bragging about it and gave me 2 weeks of free samples. I didn't believe her. It's called Enzymes, Nzymes. It's called Enzyme Granules. You could buy the capsules or you could buy the powder. It's like these granule powder. It's like a brown, it looks like a flaxseed almost, like ground up flaxseed. But you sprinkle it in the dog in their food and mix it up, and like once a day, you just follow the directions on it. Sophie, and I knock on wood, this has been since we started her on this, her energy levels came back to what she was when she was young before her disc disease, and her back, everything. She's not had any more ruptures, knock on wood, since she's been on this. It is amazing stuff. And they have like, so that helps with pain and inflammation. I know it also helps with like, there's a whole host of benefits, good for their gut and but it's really good for their energy levels as well. That would be my number one thing. And I believe a big bag of it that will last quite a long time because you don't use that much per serving. It lasts like 2 or 3 months each bag that I buy for Sophie. It's like $39.99, I think, for it. But they even have capsules. They have other things you could try as well that are the same thing. So that's number one. The other thing, and I don't know how well I just know a lot of people are big on like those the CBD for the dogs.
Yeah, I tried that. That doesn't seem to work for him.
Okay, then. So yeah, rule that out. And I haven't tried that either, but I just know a lot of people swear by it. But I've taken CBD too, and it can be hit or miss for me. But I would try those enzymes. I think that would be. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they've helped Sophie to get to a point where she seems normal.
And it looks like I'm looking at it right now on Amazon. It looks like I can get it today. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, I appreciate it. I'll get off here and listen, but I'm definitely thankful for your recommendation.
You're welcome. Let me know. I hope it works out. Hope everything's all right.
I'll keep you posted. I'll tag you in a post.
Good deal. Thank you, Kale.
Thank you.
Good deal. I just happen to not that I'm an expert in that by any means, but that is, I do know that I've put that on my Instagram before. That supplement for dogs is a game changer. And little guy, actually, I can give it in small amounts. He gets allergic to certain things. He'll get a little red. He has very sensitive skin, so I can't give it to little guy as much. But Sophie and most, but Boston Terriers can have more allergies and whatnot. He's always been, he'll be completely normal looking, and you look over at him and he's all red for no reason. You're just like, you haven't gone anywhere. What did you do? He hasn't eaten anything. He's just like red. You have to spray his skin with his little skin disinfectant rash thing, and then he's good for a while. But yeah, it's amazing stuff on that. All right, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Taking a look here. 1 second. So Shawnee in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Shawnee on that. It was the first time. Get on King Brown. Hello, good to see all of you. Thank you very much. King, welcome to the Ryback Show.
What's up, big guy?
Not much. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Is there any moves that you ever did in wrestling that you had to transition from? I know only one move that I remember used to do, the shell shock. Used to turn into like a fisherman suplex.
Yep.
You used to lift them up and slam them. That's the only thing I've seen you transition from. there anything that you had to take out or like transition from injuries or anything?
Well, the shell shock, I just altered the way that I picked the guys up, because I used to pick the guy up where I used to throw him up over my head. And that one, you can't throw everybody up that way. Like, and I would have to pick up the heavier guys. So how I was picking up the heavier guys, where it's like a good morning and a squat kind of combined. I then just started picking everybody up like that, because it was really hard when I was picking guys up. One, you can't pick up the heavier guys that same way. And two, so I wanted the load up to be the same after that. But picking guys up over my head, they were coming down and landing on my neck area all the time. And it's not good, because that's a very difficult movie. I'd have to they can only jump on with one leg essentially on it, and then you got to throw them up, and you got to duck your head under. And sometimes too, my top of my head would hit their body, and it was just, I go, oh, this isn't with lighter guys, it's fine with it, but with a lot of the guys who are over 200 something pounds, I just go, it's just unnecessary to keep doing this. And so I switched that to keep shell shock the same, but the load up I switched. The only thing, and I didn't switch there, that I won't do coming back, is I'm not going to be doing the backpack stunner with the guy.
Oh, I remember that.
That played a big part in speeding up the process of the disc degeneration that was going to happen regardless because of the nerve damage. But that didn't help. And I used to do leg drops, like the Hogan leg drop. I would do that occasionally on live events. And that's the same thing. Any move where you're coming down on your ass, on your butt, it's sending that energy directly up your spine and compresses your disc. And there's nowhere for that energy to dissipate. Whereas if you take a regular flat bump on your back, that energy is going across your whole body. And it's not, but when you come down, like anything, Matt Hardy did those leg drops off the top rope. That's why his back and hips are shot.
That I understand now, because Hulk Hogan had so many back surgeries.
That's why.
And that was his finisher.
And Austin, with doing the stunner all the time, had issues. It really, I was told too by William Regal when I came in, when I was Skip Sheffield, he told me, he goes, that move is really cool. He goes, I like it. He said, and he goes, it's a great finish. He goes, but I don't know if I would do that all the time. He goes, that it's probably going to mess up your back over time. And so I actually stopped it when I left Skip and came back as Ryback. I came up with a new finisher, but then I started doing it on live events, and I did it on TV occasionally. And then it always got such a great reaction. You just do, I'm going to do that move. I'm going to do that move. And you don't realize it, you're doing it 4 or 5 times a week all of a sudden, or 3-4 times a week. And so anything like that, man, I'll be avoiding.
Okay. That was pretty much my own questions. That was it.
Good deal. I appreciate it. Great question, man.
Thank you. I like this. I've been to be able to talk to you a lot often now.
No, it's good, man. This is what this show, the People's Podcast, man. This is your guys' show to come on.
Yes, 100%. Thank you, big guy.
You're welcome, bud. Take care.
You too.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Everybody on TikTok as well, and IG, if you want to come on this show, you want to talk to me, you've got something to say, you've got a question, at Ryback on Twitter Spaces, make an account. Takes a couple minutes, minute and a half. Create an account. Follow me at Ryback on Twitter, and you can call in live to be a part of this show. Let's see what somebody says. Get Shawnee back. Yeah, Shawnee hasn't showed back up in the Twitter Spaces. Shawnee disappeared. I don't know what Shawnee, he must be doing campaigning. I saw him yesterday. He had on Twitter, he was at the car wash, and he had his shirt lifted up, trying to get this Goldberg match in place. He's really hustling hard out there with everything. So we got to see if we get him back. We've got Richard coming on.
What's up, big guy?
Not much. How you doing, Richard?
Pretty good. Hey, I got to see you back, I think it was 2015 in Baltimore. You were wrestling Seth Rollins. You actually won. I think he was the champ at the time, and you were the Intercontinental.
I won with a small package, I believe.
Yep. And that was where Sting, I think, was in a thing with Seth Rollins, and he threw his statue in the garbage truck.
Yep, I remember that very well.
Yeah, that was a pretty hype crowd that night. I know it was really, really loud, screaming the "Feed Me Moors."
Thank you. Yeah, no, that was a good time. That matchup, I don't know if that was me and Seth were wrestling quite a bit during that stretch on like live events. And we were doing like IC champion versus WWE champion matches at different points. I think we did a lumberjack match on TV on SmackDown as well, a main event. And like we wrestled it a handful of times on TV and a lot of live events together at that point.
Yeah, I know. I remember the crowd was pretty electric, and especially with you getting the win over him, it was a big pop. But one other question I had, today they had those UFO hearings for Congress, and I'm the type where I'll believe it when I see it. But do you have any thoughts on that, or?
I have not seen it. I mean, I don't know what's going on with any of that. You know, I live in Vegas, and Area 51 is not all that far from me. You know, I think it's crazy to think that we're all alone in this universe with everything out there, and that they're discovering more and more and more and more. But you always see Elon Musk always talk. He goes, "It'll be quite scary if we are truly the only real life on this planet out there." But I don't know, man. It just seems like you would think, like we had a thing in Vegas a couple months ago where there was supposedly, I don't know if you saw it on social media, there was supposedly some sort of a UFO sighting or something, and where a family and called the cops, and they've got the footage of like, and they swore there were aliens in their backyard, and like there's all this like weird footage, but there's no like real clear evidence of anything, and like all this time, that's the one thing, like you would think that after all this time and now in this day and age with cell phones and that we would have something, but I'm of the belief that we can't be the only life out there with that. But it is interesting that, you know, they're having these hearings and they seem to be releasing more information on it. But I've heard, you know, I'm not like really caught up on all this, but there's the project, is it Project Bluebeam?
Yeah, I believe so.
Where there's all the different theories and whether you want to call them conspiracy theories or like ideas. Well, I don't know, man. It is interesting though, like this, that they are talking about it and they've acknowledged it, whereas before it was just ignored. So
yeah, it was like you were considered a conspiracy theorist if you had any thoughts on the UFO, but then the last 4 or 5 years, it's been like, oh well, now the government's talking about it. So I find it interesting, but I'm waiting for them to pull out the aliens and show us.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. So at this point, too, nothing would shock me anymore with all of this, and I'll tell you too, I am a little nervous of just being a business owner with everything after the whole pandemic and seeing how bad, you know, and everything with Biden and this whole administration. You know, I've never been a political person, but I can say, like, I will 1000% be voting next 2024 for anybody other than them, the Democrats. They have been horrible for me and my business with all the price increases and just inflation in general. This is the first time that I've been affected in my life through this, and I think it's all a scam. I think all of politics. I think they're all corrupt with all of it. But at least when Trump was in office, life was a lot better for the regular everyday person and for businesses, and we didn't have everybody losing their livelihoods. And that to me is a real concern. And something I go, you know what? I'm not going to let that happen again if I have anything to say about it. And I'm at least going to try to make sure that they're not in office. But it just seems like where they're like, there's going to be some real stunts being pulled between now and the next election too. That wouldn't shock me.
Right. Well, that's all I had. Just when are we gonna get Sweet Sugar, Walter, or Justin on here?
Yeah, I haven't seen Tyler. Hasn't been on as much since Tyler will pop up on YouTube. I don't know if he's working. I'll see he leaves comments still. He's on Twitter as well. So my guess is he's just not able to catch the live show.
Right.
But we'll have to see. Yeah, the other people. Yeah, Justin and them. Hopefully they'll pop on here. Everybody has different work schedules though. So.
Yeah. I was just curious. I always see them on the chats and whatnot. So, but all right, big guy, let somebody get else on here. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Good deal. People are saying, wait, what happened with Shawnee? I didn't kick Shawnee out of the thing. I invited him on to speak, and then it removed. He was gone. I wouldn't kick Seany out of the Twitter Spaces. Is this another one of Twitter's ways? They know I enjoy talking to Seany, so they're getting back. They're like, "Oh no, we don't like that. These two guys are too happy when they're talking to each other. We're gonna block Seany off the Ryback show." Seany, create another account like the stalker, but you got to let me know. Put not Seany that way. That way I know it's you, or Seany V2. For if this ever happens again, we can get you right back on. Because I can't stop the show to get Seany in with this. Let's bring on Kira to the show. Welcome to the Ryback show.
Hey, what's up, Ryback? How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I don't know if you remember me. My name is Chris, by the way.
You sound like Kevin Owens a little bit.
Really? I'm a little bit sick right now, but yeah.
I can't get this out of my head now. I really feel like I'm talking to KO. That's such a KO laugh too. Jesus, this is.
Well, I guess I'm him. No, I remember me. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. You're explaining like, you want to put like fake tattoos, and then you want to like auction them off of one.
I remember you. Yep.
I was like, you should do that. Yeah, I was like, you should do it. Hopefully you can think about it and do it, because that'd be great money. I was gonna ask you about the UFO thing, but Richard beat me to it. So shout out to Richard there. But yeah, that's it. I just want to talk about the UFO thing, but Richard got me first. So
No worries at all. Hey, let me ask you this while I've got you on here, KO. What was it like wrestling Austin at WrestleMania last year?
Oh man, it was something. I'm trying to remember.
I'm telling you, I can't. People, you sound like him. Maybe it's just me. But Jesus, it is. You might want to think about watching some of his interviews and seeing if you can duplicate it, because you're pretty spot on.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, how tall is he? By the way, how tall is KO? I don't know if he's. I want to say, is he 6 foot or 6'1"? Oh, okay. No, I'm 6'5". That's why.
Okay, yeah. No, I want to say he was shorter than me, but he can't. Sometimes if your hair spike, I want to say he's in between the 6 foot to 6'2" range. That would be my guess. I want to say 6'1" off the top of my head, but I couldn't. I might be. He could be a little shorter, or he could be right around that.
Gotcha. Okay. I just want to make sure. So, okay. Yeah. I'll look at some interviews, and I try to hop on once in a while when I'm working on your show. And by the way, you're like the only podcast show I only really listen to. So
sweet,
which I really like.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
I'll try to put an iTunes review for you for sure when I have the chance.
Brother, I really they really help out. The more you guys get, the more people keep leaving them. It really helps. So thank you.
Right. Yeah, everyone else that's listening on Instagram, TikTok, or everywhere else, drop some iTunes reviews for Ryback for a show.
Sweet. Thank you, Chris. You're welcome on anytime, man. And I hope everything's going well.
Sweet. All right. Thank you, man. Have a good one. All right.
You too.
All right.
KO calling in, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's a fan of the Ryback show. That was really KO. He just created another account to throw people off. I always got along really well with Kevin. He's a nice guy. He actually messaged me after I left WWE. I think it was after he won the WWE title the first time. I did an interview, and somebody just asked me something about him, and I just gave an honest answer. But it was he saw the interview, and he was really grateful, and he just sent a nice message over. So we always got along well when I was over there. Take another caller here. We're going to take a shot at this. This could be the stalker. It could be a new guest from TikTok, Ryan. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Having a connecting issue. We had to remove Ryan. I couldn't get you on, Ryan. It was not connecting. We've got Agent Cody Banks. Bring in Agent Cody Banks. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hello. Well, how's it going, Ryback?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing good today. I just want to come in here and ask you, so do you like pay attention to the current like WWE? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty up to date on most things. I don't catch every little thing, but I know a good amount of what's going on.
well, I was wondering, what's your opinion on LA Knight?
I love it, man. I just saw yesterday. I saw Raj Giri tweeted out. I don't know how true this is, but supposedly LA Knight has. I don't know if he has 4 of the top 5 spots, or he's amongst the top sellers in WWE merchandise for his shirt.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. I think his shirt's like #1. It's sold out though, like all of his shirts.
Which is it's very early. This just started though. I'm sure the numbers have been rising the last couple of months, but he just broke through. So,
sure.
which is so that's a feat of its own. It'll be another thing to stay there to see. There's going to be a lot that has to happen for that to happen. But he is. I'm a fan of it. I think he's grown on me even more, even from early on, and I'm interested to seeing how they handle him with everything. I think right now, here's my take on it. Roman Reigns is made. You have an opportunity to make another guy even bigger. It would not upset me if they were to invest in LA Knight and go, this guy's red hot, and we're gonna have him be the one to dethrone Roman, and they adjust their plans to where they make that happen. They will have another legitimate huge star on their hands. With Roman still being a massive star, and it will not hurt Roman one bit. It'll probably even help Roman in that sense. But they tend to not do that with it. They like to control things. So I know how this. I've seen this play out multiple times, and I've experienced it at the highest level and been in that very position where my merch was a top selling merch for not just a week or a month, for a good period of time during my stretch, or amongst me and Cena were the top 2, and where there were a lot of issues going on, and that's my story. But there were other guys this has happened to in various levels where it's just like, if they don't want you to be in that upper echelon of stars, they will go out of their way to make it not happen. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm happy for him though. I like him.
Yeah, he's really like, it's insane how like popular he just got. Like, it was kind of out of nowhere too. It just like kind of happened. And to me, honestly, he kind of seems like a Daniel Bryan. Like, do you remember when the whole Yes movement was like really popular?
Yeah. Well, I think he's
really
getting reported, like the way he's being reported a lot in ways, and where and they're putting out things where it seems like people are they don't want to see this get botched essentially with it, and so they're being very. I think they're like they see his shirts and like, oh, his shirts are selling good. We're going to make them sell even better. We're going to buy one too. It feels like everyone's kind of getting on board to put the pressure on WWE to do something with him. And that's what it feels like. He has an overwhelming amount of momentum on his side right now.
Yeah, and I think it's also like have you seen his match for the United States? It was an invitational match. He lost the match though. It was a fatal 4-way. He lost, and Rey Mysterio won the match, and a lot of people were like, there was a whole uproar on Twitter.
Was that just this past Monday?
Really mad. It was this past Friday.
Or Friday. Oh, so I missed that part. I see. That's where we're gonna have to wait and see what they do. They may be like doing something where they see if it keeps creating a backlash where people keep supporting him more and more, So, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Like, it's not gonna shock me if they just cool him off and don't do anything either.
Oh yeah, I know they're really known for doing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of superstars who get over.
But
'Cause,
it
like,
would also is if that they if there's all that's but here's the deal, that's fine if there's a long-term plan to pull the trigger on them, but you got to strike while the iron is hot. So it's a very fine line where like eventually they're going to have to go like, look, we got to do something if we're going to capitalize on this, and if they don't, the longer that goes on, the greater the odds that can sizzle out, or like an injury could happen or something. So you just want to, I hope for his sake, everything's on the up and up and everything's great and they pull the trigger. I firmly believe they should with it. That doesn't mean he has to win the title tomorrow or anything like that. But I think if you have a guy that's organically getting over and making, it's not easy to break through and to get into the top merchandise sellers, especially early on in your career. And I'm all for him, man. I've heard some people talk about, the age. Age is irrelevant. He's under contract.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
So
yeah.
he's under you sign 3 or 5 year contracts. Why wouldn't you use the guy to his maximum ability if he's showing that he could bring in maximum revenue with things for the next 3 years? Take advantage of that rather than not with that, because there's very few people that can do this and organically get over with it. And by the way, the other thing into his thing, I don't ever want to hear anyone talk about age, because the guy's been in the business 15, 20 years, putting other people over and he's helped make other stars this entire time. It's his time now. Give him the ball. Let him run. Let's see what he does. This is what's missing from wrestling. This is where people, and it got taken away from us multiple times, and it happened with me, with Ryder, Rusev to a degree, and some other people. When somebody starts getting hot and the crowd gets behind them, give them the ball and let them run with it. And this is what the WWE has been horrible. Vince has been horrible at this, of not giving people the ball when they should have the ball. And so that's what I want to see. I don't care if he's only in the business for 2 more years. Let him have a run. He's done his part. He served his time. Maybe not in the WWE the entire time. That's irrelevant. He has done his part. He's hot now. Very few guys can get this way organically. Let him go. Let him run.
Yeah, and I saw them say that his age was a problem. But if you look at the winner of the Money in the Bank this year, he's the same age as him. Damian Priest is 40 years old.
So it's silly. This is 40s, and I'll say this: 40s are prime years in wrestling when you're healthy. 40s are your biggest years in wrestling, and they always were for many guys. That's not 30s and 40s can be by far, but the experience that you have in your 40s, if you stay healthy, you have the knowledge and the ability to do so much more than a lot of other people younger. With that, age is irrelevant. It's a stupid thing thrown out. This is physical acting and performing out there. As long as you're healthy and you're going out there, I don't care if you're 55 years old. We've got guys, Jeff Jarrett still going strong in AEW. If you take care of yourself, age is irrelevant. This isn't another sport where football or baseball or things where, like in wrestling, your prime years are in your later 30s and 40s, and even can be your early 50s as well if you take care of yourself. So it's just people are going to hate because they want to try to take away opportunities from people that are doing things in their life. And so they'll throw anything against the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah. That's all I was wondering. All right, have a good day, Ryback.
You too, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Ryback Show, the People's Podcast, we support LA Knight. All wrestlers should support LA Knight. What you see oftentimes is other top guys will get insecure and jealous. This is not how I am with it. If I was in WWE and right now, and I was going, and I'm in the top spot with that, or if I'm not in the top spot and I see he's getting reactions and getting over, I look at myself and go, 1, that's awesome. 2, what do I need to do to improve myself? But there unfortunately are people in the business that aren't that way, and they go, what can we do to stop this? And that is a big, big problem. It's one of the things. This is why you need to sometimes get written in protection if you don't want to get caught up in all the BS in the games, because a lot of other top guys are very insecure and jealous, and it's just it is what it is. And that's where you'll start seeing those little rumors getting leaked out, and they can come from other talent, they can come from executives, other little click people that have their clicks and the talent they're looking at, out for, and it's a shady, crazy business in so many ways. All right, we've got Seany. Shawnee's got his account number 74 here.
Big guy.
Shawnee, what happened to the other account?
I don't know, bro. It was like all of a sudden I went to talk. I couldn't hear you. And then it said I was removed from Spaces. And it wouldn't let me go back into the Spaces. And when I tried to go in, it showed up like that you were in Spaces, but it was like, I'll send you a picture after. It just wouldn't let me click in. Like I was like totally banned from it. It was weird.
That makes no sense at all. I believe you though, but that doesn't I don't know why.
I know you didn't do it. I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. They don't want us to have a great conversation like we always do. They don't want us to be happy.
Elon has technology implemented in Twitter that can tell when you're happy, and he's like, oh, they have me so shadow banned. They're like, wait a second, this guy Ryback's happiness level seems to go up a few notches when Shawnee's on the show. We're gonna make sure Shawnee can't come on. This is going on in Twitter headquarters, and I'm sorry, X headquarters right now. Elon and his little mini me son, and everybody's like, what can we do to disrupt Ryback today?
Big guy, that story with who am I to tell her no? Oh my God. Yo, I was fucking literally dying laughing listening to that story. Because I was big into sports, like huge my whole life. And I really didn't focus on girls until I was a senior in high school because I was just so into sports, you know?
Yeah,
and,
same.
I knew if I had a girlfriend that I would be distracted. So I didn't lose my virginity until I was 17. And to this day, I've only slept with 2 people. And they've been my, my ex who I was with for 8 years.
Yep.
And my wife who I'm now with for 9 years, you know?
Yeah, that's great.
And, yeah, it's just something about, sex. To me, it's like I've tried, but like I just have to be in love with the person. I don't know. It's weird. But,
Yeah, I understand.
My friends abuse me about it, but I stand my ground.
Well, I mean, you're in a relationship, so it's not like you're not like you're going long stretches without having it. So
exactly, yes.
You just like playing with the same. You just like it's like baseball players. Some guys need to get a new mitt every few weeks. Some guys like to use the same mitt for their whole career.
Bro, I had the same first baseman's mitt for 14 years. It's funny you say that. I used the same mitt for 14 years, bro. Yeah, that is so weird that you said that. But
I was a baseball guy, you got to remember. So
I totally forgot. Like, how far did you go? Like, how far did you play baseball?
I walked on. So I was football, did very well in high school. I walked on to our community college, CCSN. Now it's CSN. We were ranked number 16th in the country. I walked on and made it, and it was doing very well. I actually switched schools my senior year to try to get drafted or to try it for baseball. And I had a good season. I didn't do as well as what the expectations were for me. Very good season still, but it was under what the expectations were. So I didn't get drafted.
What position did you play?
I moved to first because I put on size that year. I got up to like 245 my senior year, and even that some of that happened after football too. But I walked on and I was doing very well, and then I had a hairline fracture in my foot. I went to go run at my high school at the track one night. I was doing drills, and this was during when I'd walked on and made it. The fence was locked, and I had to jump from the top of the fence onto the track area, and I ended up like my foot. It hurt, and I go, oh man, that didn't feel good. I didn't think anything of it. I had a very small hairline fracture, and I didn't tell anybody. And it got worse and worse and worse, where I started getting a limp, and they ended up I had to get it fixed. So I had to redshirt the freshman year, but that was the year. It's crazy this all happened. That's what got me to where I go. I loved wrestling more than I loved baseball and football. But my family always wanted me to play sports, and so I always was really good. But I wanted to be a wrestler, so that's where I really like weight training, everything. I just started like. That distanced me from baseball and got me. I was like, how can I get into wrestling?
Got you into wrestling.
Yeah. So it's crazy how like little things over my life have happened to like, but that's what caused that to start. So
yeah, I believe everything happens for a reason. 100%.
That baseball money, though, part of me is looking back. That baseball money, I should have stuck with it.
That baseball money. So I was offered 4 full
full rides to schools in New York for college. I didn't accept it because at the time I was in a relationship, and it's my biggest regret to this day. It's my biggest regret. My mentality was I'm not going to make it to the pro, and I know that. Like, I was good, but like when you go, like, this is the thing. I'm a New York baseball player. When you grow up in fucking California and you get to play outside all year round, you don't realize how good these guys are because I'm practicing indoors for 6 months. They have a full field and all these, trainers, and I never realized how much better the kids on the West Coast were than because I was like the best kid in my neighborhood, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking kill these kids. Man, I was so wrong.
Shawnee, you know what? I think about this often too. So same thing all my life growing up, and some people get mad at this. I was good at everything that I did. I won, like, from being a little kid, I would win belly flop contests, races, school. I'd get all the blue ribbon. Like, I'm not like, I naturally was like fast and good.
You're just saying, that's what it was.
I got athlete of the year in elementary school. I was kickball player, like all these weird awards that they gave out for, like, I won everything. I was like, but like as I got older though, I've realized though, and I grew up in an area where, like, especially nowadays, it's even crazier. But like, if you come from parents that have money or are very in tune with what you need to be doing to develop at a specific sport or skill, like, especially now, but even back then, there were levels to all this. Like, I just was good at things, and I would show up, and whoever my coaches were, and I just practiced whenever we practiced, and I was always, but there's levels to this of what you do. Like, if you have, like, and my dad would always go take me and pitch to me and do things, but I never was around.
It's way different, man.
But if you come from like a baseball, like, somebody like a really, really, really great coach that had played at the pro level that can teach you the skills at a young age, or these little things this is why, like, people that are successful in sports that have kids, they have a huge advantage over other kids, those kids, because they're getting like pro quality coaching and skills and
pro training,
and mindset, on like a positive mindset. Nobody ever talked to me about a positive mindset. Like, and I learned that on my own later, but like, there's all this stuff that like really, really play a part in the success of kids. And as you get older, and obviously natural talent.
True.
So like, I always think about that with that, but like but it got me like that's what led me to wrestling, that path though. But it was, man, I look back at that all the time. You're smart to be in tune with that, because a lot of people they lie to themselves or whatnot, but it's like, you're the best guy, and there's like also 10 other best guys you're going up against. Like,
I'll tell you this, my friend Danny Christensen, he was the best pitcher I've ever faced, best pitcher I've ever seen by far. He was throwing mid-90s in high school.
Oh man.
He went and became a Kansas City Royal, and I was like, oh, this kid's gonna make it. Like, if anybody I know is gonna make it, it's him. He made it to the minors, right?
Yep.
He got fucking rocked. I mean, like, I'm talking about like a 7 ERA, like, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's when I knew, because he was a little older than me.
Yep.
And I was like, listen, I have faith in myself. I truly believe in myself as an athlete, but I was poor growing up. I didn't have those fucking trainers that the other kids had.
Yeah.
I didn't have that extra practice, I was coming with fucking beat up pants with holes in them and cleats with fucking duct tape around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it didn't stop me from loving the game, and I love baseball because it's all mental. People don't realize that. I was the biggest kid on the field, and I led the league in stolen bases every year, because everybody would be like, oh, he's big, he won't steal, and I would fucking take off every time.
I love it.
And so I want to tell you a story, big guy, about the who am I to not do it? Right? Yeah. So I'm with my ex. So she had a single mom, and her mom, like, I guess, her and her mom had like a kind of fucked up relationship in a sense. And we're in her room and whatever, you know, we're like 17, right? And her whole family's over, right? And she had like a big Puerto Rican family, right?
Oh, man.
So she's like, Sean, come in the room for a second. And her room was like right by the living room.
Of course.
So
And
I'm
Puerto
like,
Ricans also are another breed. That's
fucking crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
The craziest 7 years of my life, hands down. I fucking had it. Yo, I almost got stabbed in that relationship. Like, you don't even know, bro. But she calls me in, right? I come in. She fucking, she's like a little fucking petite thing, right? She fucking throws me against the wall. She's like, I want you to fuck my brains out.
Wait, Shawnee, 1 second. Everybody on TikTok,
Yeah.
let me give the I'm going to shut the TikTok off just for the sake of
Okay.
everybody on TikTok. If you want to come over to @Ryback on Twitter Spaces or YouTube, we got to stop the live stream on the TikTok. I thank all of you guys. All right, Shawnee, go ahead. Sorry, I just worry sometimes they're
It's all right.
with the F bombs. I like those all of a sudden just kick me out and like saying it like because like I don't know what the count is. I'm like you can cuss, but you can't cuss too much. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Got it, big guy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I stopped the live streams.
She's like, fuck my brains out right now in front of my, and I'm like, she lived in the projects in Coney Island, and the walls were paper thin, right? So I'm like, holy shit. So I just start going to town. It was one of these things where she had like a mirror on her wall. I was like hitting it from the back and like making muscles and shit. I was like, you know what I'm talking about? You know, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, I'm the fucking man, right? Yo, her fucking grandma opens the door.
Oh my God.
I'm mid pump and my arms are like in muscle.
You're doing a front double bicep.
I'm doing exactly. I'm strutting, right? And I look around and her fucking grandma's face just fucking turned white.
Oh my God. I just picture her Puerto Rican grandma walking in and Shawnee just pumping away and his hot Puerto Rican girlfriend with his hands on his ass pumping.
Bro, it was the weirdest thing. I'm never awkward. Like I've been in so many situations where most people would feel like awkward, but bro, walking out that door.
Wait. So hold on. Wait. What did you guys? What happened when she walked in? Did you stop? Like
she just like I kept going and she closed the door. I was like, I'm not fucking letting this one go. Like this is like a one for the ages right now, you know. And then we finished up in the next couple minutes, and then and she didn't. The crazy part was. Like she didn't give a fuck, and she wasn't like sexual like that. Like, so it was weird, but it was like her trying to get back at her family, you know?
Oh my God!
I was all for it, and when you said "Who am I?" that reminded me of that story, and I started laughing so much.
I'm not even kidding. The one that happened when I in Louisville with or not Louisville, but we were in the Bahamas. We were in our room. We were staying at this huge like beach house. And I'll never forget, I'm literally on the bed reading a book after just trying to educate myself and better myself and be a better man. And then she comes in and shuts the door again. And her mom's in. This was another time her mom was in the living room with the aunt in there. And it's like the door, like there's a little space under the door. Like you can hear like anything going on in that. Like it's not. And she just didn't care. And I just like, that's what I tell you. Who am I to say no? You with that. But she had an issue with her mom. Her mom she didn't like that. Her mom said no sex. And she was like, nope, we're going to do it as much as possible on a boat. We were on somebody else's boat and we were at some club in the Bahamas. And she got a little tipsy again. And she goes, come with me. And she grabbed my hand and took me out to the top of someone's boat. Nobody's on the boat. So we went and we're on top of somebody else's boat out there. I'm sorry to whoever owned that boat, but it's, it happened.
Yeah, listen, I'm not sorry. Your fucking daughter got fucked, bro. That's not my fault. And yo, the thing is, I asked my dad. My dad told me this story growing up, and because I have a sister, and my sister's like 8 years older than me. My brother is 9 years older than me, and my dad asked my mom's dad because he had 4 girls, and he said, "How do you raise a girl? Like, what's the key to it?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Tommy, limit the times you say no." And I'm telling you, the more you say no, the more they want to do it, man. Those Catholic girls, they would have, the Catholic school girls would line up outside my school, and they would have fucking sucked the glizzy 10 times over if I asked them to. You know, they would pull up their skirt so high, you would be like, yo, like there's like I don't even want you. Look at you, like like that. Those weren't the girls I wanted. You know, I don't like. I want somebody who's like who I could tell is out in the street and like is awesome. But if I'm yours, we're all each other's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I love. You know.
Oh.
Big guy, you made me laugh so much. I can't tell you, man, how much I love this show, and it's funny how all the listeners love when I call in. And
it's becoming my favorite thing. You and Brawler calling in are my favorite things now. With this, we have more in common that I'm finding out that we have a lot more in common. Just it's pretty funny.
Yes. It's funny when you talk to people, and that's why I say you never know who you're talking to, and always treat people with respect, because you never know what people have went through, and
True.
What things you have in common until you get to know somebody. You know,
I agree.
But thank you, big guy. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll probably be on tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'll see you see you next time. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. No, I look forward to it, brother. Please, I think people like conversations like this. So you take care.
I agree, big guy. Have a great day, man.
You too.
Later.
Bye. All right, good, Sean. I'm glad we got another account, the backup, in case Twitter tries to continue to take this away from us. Thank you very much, buddy. Those Puerto Ricans, Latinos and Puerto Ricans. I could tell you, Puerto Ricans, if you have to go on a women's sex drive scale, Puerto Ricans are at the top of that list. They head and shoulders probably above all other ethnicities. They are, then you've got the Latinas, and then they come with knives and scissors and crazy attitudes. And it's wild. You got to be careful out there. Shawnee, I forgot what was the app for the Puerto Rican? She seems like how old is she? She on social media? I love that Shawnee, no sold the granny, walks in, Shawnee just hands on his ass, just pumping away. Doesn't even faze him. Bring on another caller here. Bring on Jude. Jude, welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
What's on your mind?
Can you hear me?
It was coming in and out. Let's see. Go ahead.
I said, why do you want to wrestle Goldberg?
Why did I want to wrestle Goldberg? We talked about that quite a bit.
I don't know. He's my favorite wrestler. So I mean, I was just wanting to see why did you want to wrestle?
He's your favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants one last match. Why did I want to wrestle him though? That's his last match.
I don't know, because he's just he's pretty old, so he's getting there.
Nah, he's fine. I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity,
Yeah, that was just my only question.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You too.
Thank you, Jude. A lot going on over there. Take another caller here. Faraz. I think we might got a new caller here. We'll have to see. It's either a new caller or the stalker. Hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hey, what's up, Ryback?
Not much. How you doing?
Love your stuff. Grew up watching you, since 2010, the Nexus days and all that good stuff. Love your progression. Love the future. Awesome. I mean, it's like sky's the limit, right? So my questions, they're more like fanboy questions for like people on the outside looking in. How does it feel to be where you're at? So one, I want to ask you, when you meet people like the McMahons, Triple H, and you're in the WWE and you're in backstage and you're like meeting these people you grew up watching, one, how does that feel? Is it a disappointment? Is it overrated? Is it like everything you expected? I have two more little questions, but yeah, like how does that feel being around Kevin Nash? And 99% of us will never see that or feel that. And, you're that guy, you're in it. And just, how does that feel? Is it like everything you expected? I know you've had your issues, but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I think initially early on, as you're coming up through developmental, and then you start getting experiences of in being put in different situations where you're meeting these people that you see on TV, and I think it's even different now too with social media and everything. I pretty quickly it was over it in the sense of all it is you're just meeting people that are living their lives that have a certain mindset that are just on TV. Once the more that you're in that environment and on TV, you realize, I don't want to say you get jaded to it. You just realize and understand that environment and what it is. And you're around people with similar mindsets that just got into it before you or that have been on TV. But I'll never forget the first time like going backstage or being in WWE on Tough Enough, and being around, you're like processing everything of seeing all these people that you grew up watching and everybody. It is a bit of a surreal experience very early on. As you're in it and start doing it, that goes away. At least for me, it went away pretty quickly in the sense of but that comes along with like the better you get, the more confidence you get. And then you realize everybody's just people. And there's just really no difference between the only difference between people that we see doing something on TV that we were in awe of. It's essentially just they're just people with a certain mindset that had the courage to follow through with their dreams. And not to say, or they had the courage to follow through with their dreams, had luck on their side, and also they had the ability to make it, and they made it with it. And so, but you join that group of people, and it is a small amount of people, right, in the grand scheme of things in the whole world and all of that. So it's a great experience on that. But you after you're there for a bit, you just kind of it becomes your new normal, I guess I should say. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, man. I'm an actor. I'm non-union right now, but I hopefully in the future I'm going to be in the union. I got my YouTube channel. I have my scenes on there that I do in classes. And my coach, Dan Gauthier, he's an actor from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And I saw him growing up. And then when I met him, it was like, oh, this is the guy I watched growing up. But then, like you said, eventually you just see that he's just a guy, got into the business, loves what he does.
Yep.
And it just submerges itself into it. And now I don't look at him nothing like that. I'm just like, oh, that's my coach, or that's his dad. But so very well said. Absolutely, man. But on the outside, people are like, oh, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Oh, how's that? And I'm like dude, they're just guys.
That's all it is you get over that. And that's where I talk, and I have this happen, and you guys hear it sometimes if you listen to this show. Sometimes people come on and they get like starstruck or nervous occasionally, every once in a while. I've had that when it happens in person, even being off TV, where I remember there was a young kid and he was like a teenager and it was at the gym. He was processing everything that you were asking, like that was going through his head as he was standing next to me. And he just literally, I can't believe I'm looking at you, talking to you. And I, after he was done with everything, and I wanted to empower him. I go, so you can see, I go, I'm a person, right? And he goes, yeah. I just said, I go, the only difference I go between, I go, how you're viewing me and how I view the things is like, I believe I could do anything I put my mind to. I go, life is mindset. And I go, if there's something you want to do, you just have to have the right mindset, learn from people that you see that are doing what you want to do. I go, but I said, it's kind of a process of you. If you want to do something in your life, though, you have to be able to try to understand the thought process behind it of like how you view life. And sometimes people they can't ever escape that. They just look the one way and they don't realize the power that they have inside of them as well, that they have an ability to do more than like, we're all human. We're like, it's mindset. That is the difference, essentially, is what I'm getting at with this, with everything. But our sense of normal changes when our environment changes. And that you had it happen to you with around people. It's just all dependent. It's like, me, like with watching, football, Tom Brady, with that, Tom Brady, I love Tom Brady, and greatest, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. There's guys that play with him that know Tom. That's just everyday life and joking around with him and whatnot. But I don't have any experience, we're not around that, right? But it's like, it's not normal. And so I understand the whole process of everything. And it's a great question for people, because a lot of people, they go, what's it like? What's Vince like? What's this like? And it's like, it can be very intimidating if you're of that mindset. But when you're not in that mindset and your mindset adjusts and evolves, then it's just normal. And then you're literally going and talking to them on your own. It's like, your thought process is just different, is what I'm getting at with it. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fantastic, man. Real quick. And then when you came in, adjusting to the arena, the cameras,
Yep.
the lights, the people, when you're there, was it just easy to you to come in and be like, oh, this is home? And but that's so overwhelming. Where to look, what to do? I mean, there's like marks you got to hit. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
was it just easy, or was it like, oh shit, this is nuts?
So yes, became very easy and second nature, but it wasn't initially. And so that took years of practice and repetition, and being in that environment and being taught and taking criticism and making mistakes and learning. And then through repetition and doing it over and over and over, and then being in that environment consistently, then all of a sudden it became very easy. And so it's just essentially like it's like becoming great at anything else that you do in life. The more repetitions and quality repetitions you do, and like with cameras and stuff, we're in the same arenas, we're with the same camera people that have been doing this their whole careers. And so when I was there, and I got along with everyone, I'm very grateful. Like, camera people would always give me little tips and things. They're like, you do this really well. If you add this and this, we can get a really good shot. Somebody asked the other day on the show, like I came in the ring and I would hit my head to the back of the crowd when I was in the ring. And then I would turn around and hit my fist. And then I'd go to the ropes and I would flex on the ropes. For me, and they helped me with that too, is they go, when you do that, that's such an amazing shot, hold it for a second. Because sometimes I would do it too quick. I would hold that when I would go onto the ropes and flex, all my veins would pop out. But it was like, that was the visual of, it's feeding time. I'm in the cage. It's now time to eat with that. And they wanted to catch that on camera all the time. So just a simple cameraman, Stewie, saying, hey, hold that shot for like 3 seconds or 4 seconds when you do it. He goes, I know it might not be comfortable all the time. He goes, but it allows the camera to come in and zoom in. But then you just start doing it and you start doing it. So all that stuff starts adding up, and then you're not even thinking about it anymore. So that's where it's just like all these cool people that help play a part in like learning it. I say it becomes easy. It becomes easy because you're all the help along the way and doing it over and over. So, but very overwhelming. And here's another thing people don't realize. We're doing promos, and when you see that camera and the hard cam, and that you're on live TV being watched by millions of people, and you see that red light, and you're looking. So like, if you're just in an arena with people talking, that could be very overwhelming, and it's beyond overwhelming for a lot of people. But then, like, if you stop and if you actually try to think, you're like, oh my God, the entire world is possibly watching me live right now. You can't think about that. So that's why they grill us, and we're in the school and we have to do all these live promos, and we have to do things where we can't stop. And if we stop, you're in trouble. Like you have to learn. And Vince goes, it's okay to forget and to mess up, but you got to learn to keep going one way or the other. You don't show them that you're giving up. And like, so I've been taught by the best in the world to go out there. And it's like my thing. And I do my show. If I'm talking and I mess up on something, I'll just stupid or botch. I just kind of make fun of it and keep going, because it's going to happen when you're doing live shows. And like, but the last thing you want to do is just completely like just shut down and give up, because then the performance failed with that. So that is like that kind of stuff, man. And I've seen people, very high level professionals, like backstage shut down on different things. And like, it happens to even the best of them still at times with this, but it's repetitions of just being in the best environment, brother. That's what makes it. People don't realize how much goes into like what looks easy by the people doing it is not easy. It's just years and years of being groomed and taught properly and messing up a lot.
Exactly, man. Last thing, exactly, because as an actor, I've been doing it for 2 years. In the beginning, my heart will beat fast and I'll be in my own head. 2 years later, man, it's like no heart beating. I'm not in my head. I'm just organic. I'm flowing. And It's like, but that's with preparation and experience and just being on camera, just doing it every day. And you, again, submerge yourself into it. And next thing you know, you're just a part of it. So I can vouch for that. Absolutely, man. Last thing, do you guys ever get thirsty? Dude, I see people, you guys are wrestling. Are you guys like thirsty? Like, what happens when you guys go to the back? Are you just like chugging water? Like, what? Like, nobody ever thinks that or asks that, but that's a weird question.
Yeah, they have waters under the ring as well. Which usually you're not like. I would occasionally, if something was going on, like sometimes, like, so after a match, there was they'd always have drinks not far away from Gorilla. There would be like a snack thing and a whole tub of drinks, so you can go grab waters, or somebody will have them for you after a match. Like, but yeah, depending on how hard you're going out there, you sometimes you'll go right and go grab some water. Other times you're a little more laid back and you wait and you'll grab a water and go to the locker room to go shower and get ready. It all depends. I've had times though where I'm out there and like sometimes you have to go out there, then they got to go to commercial. And during commercials, like, excuse me, sometimes like a 3-minute break, sometimes a little longer, depending on if there's a commercial. Sometimes they'll go from a commercial to a video package. So you might be like 4 or 5 minutes out there just kind of waiting. And even like sometimes the production people, they'll say, hey, you want a sip of water? Or they'll grab you a water and you take a swig and you give it back. And, you know, they throw it under the ring or something. So yeah, that stuff's all available. They have Gatorades out there too and stuff like that.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, nice conversation and my interesting, weird questions. I feel like a lot of people do think that stuff, but they just, I know everybody likes to get into the wrestling part of it, but I want to see the behind the scenes stuff.
No, I love it. We get that. Yeah, a lot of people think like that. And it's all mindset. Those are great questions, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome on anytime. You have a good one.
All right, man. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you very much. New caller, always appreciated. Take a look here. Yeah, he did sound a little bit like Gary Vaynerchuk there. I could see that. Taking a look, making sure I didn't miss any chats. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. Appreciate everybody over here at Ryback TV. Bring in a new caller here. Buka Man.
Hey, man.
Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Ryback? Thanks, Ryback. Appreciate that. Last time we talked, I was headed outside my house.
for an appointment, and my Wi-Fi switched to my data, but it didn't switch in time, and I basically disconnected.
Oh, I appreciate you calling back in. What's going on today?
Yeah, man. I've been in this thing for a minute, so I picked up on a couple things that I wanted to say over the line. So I'm just gonna rapid fire real quick.
Okay.
LA Knight. I've been about LA Knight since, I don't know, 2012, like Eli Drake stuff, and saw him on the microphone. You can't take away a microphone skill unless you take away the guy's voice, and I think that that's what carries wrestling today. When you look at everybody who's really blown up, MJF, as the character, Eli Drake, so that's what I have to say about LA, and I'm extremely happy for him.
Same.
Stood outside with him at 2300 Arena. He was at a convention, and it was a House of Hardcore show after, and I just looked at him, and I'm like, we kind of just had a moment. I kind of didn't even need to say any words, but he kind of just understood that I got him, and I'm like, I just nodded at him, and he laughed because he knew he's the dude. The dude's he knows that he's got it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him. Really happy for him. Kevin Owens, I want to say one thing about him. I love him. I think he's been the heart of the company for a long time, and I think that when push comes to shove, if chaos erupts and there's nobody left, and say the heels take over, and it's oh my God, who's going to stop Judgment Day? They have all the titles. I think Owens is that guy to just be the right foil, because I think he can carry he can carry 10 kids through a thunderstorm. He can. I just have full faith in him that he can do anything, because he's the realest, most passionate, and you just see that turned up to 11 all the time. Even with his family, everything he does, he's just a wonderful dude. You can tell
he is a good guy. I agree.
Where else was I? My original question that I had before everybody started. Before everybody, was talking before. My original question was, when it comes to video games, not necessarily new video games, but old ones. So say Nintendo 64. What were your fixations? I know you played video games, because I know you. You're a real dude. You're one of the realest people that are in this business. So I'm just curious, what were your Nintendo 64 games?
I remember when Nintendo 64 came out, and that for us, when I was a kid, that was a huge step up from the previous systems. From the Super, I was always a Nintendo guy. My friends had the Segas, and I had an NES, a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, and then Nintendo 64, and I randomly got a Dreamcast of all that, and that one was kind of a bomb. It was good still, but they didn't really go all out with it. I think PlayStation came. It just kind of got left behind. But the Nintendo,
it was convoluted.
Yeah, it was. So, but that didn't. So again, Mario 64. That was so, to me, amazing. I remember me and my friend Kevin Salisbury playing that. We rented a Nintendo 64 from the Blockbuster, wherever he got one down the video game place down the street. We were able to rent it before we got one, and playing that and beating that overnight. And I'll tell you though, 007, man, GoldenEye was probably the fond. When I think of, I'll sometimes just go watch somebody play that on TikTok just to hear the music, and it brings back memories. I'm like, oh my God, that game. I spent a good amount of time playing that game. But I was kind of slowly getting out. Wave Race. I had Wave Race. I was into that. I can't remember, man. I had quite a bit, not a ton, but that was where I was kind of shifting. That was my last system, essentially. WCW, NWO Revenge, all the wrestling games, WWF WrestleMania, all those on those till this day. I think those were the best wrestling games still I ever played. But
I completely agree, and the closest it came was the Stone Cold Steve Austin mode, and I think in 2K16, that was unbelievable to hear his theme as Stunning Steve Austin come out. That kind of was I never thought I'd see that in a wrestling game. And I love what you said about 007, because one of my fondest memories ever was somewhere in August of, I think, 1998. I went to my friend's house. My friend Sean was really into skateboarding. We were playing Manhunt, all sorts of things. And that was a day that I got introduced to ECW as well. And so also what we did that day, it was me and Sean and two of our other friends.
we literally played 4-player GoldenEye like
Yep.
all night long.
Those
And
are the
it's-
memories that doing that. I remember we used to have get-togethers to play the WWF and WCW games. Like it would have tournaments on them, and like that would, man, it was a great.
yeah.
That's where humanity peaked. I think everything that was the best of times.
Completely agree. And I see no reason why we should not be in that zone. You know what I mean? Like there's so many paths to go now.
Yeah.
So like there was like, you know, there wasn't too many decisions that you had to make in order of like what kind of person you needed to be. It was all kind of mediated to you. It was all kind of streamlined.
We had technology, but we had real life. Whereas now with everything, there's so much technology. Like we had a nice balance of everything. We didn't have the phones hadn't been like things hadn't developed to the rate, you know, the internet phones and all that. Like, it's just different times. But those were, I look back and I go, man, that was like, you could have a good time. You had the technology, but you had good relationships still too. So it's just finding that balance, and it's just harder, I think, now with everything than it was then.
Exactly. And I have a movie idea where you can just like limit the scope of humanity's population to say 64 people would be ideal, because I always put things in terms of like when things need to happen the right way, it needs to be in a tournament format. I've always loved King of the Ring. I've always loved March Madness. And I, as a math person, I always tried to figure out why, right? So I'm really big into like lists and top 10 lists and you know, voting on things and deciding what thing is the best. And once you do that, you kind of organize your thoughts in a way where it's like, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I like. Why do I like all these common things? And then you find the links to things and you realize that shit never should have like changed. And honestly, I remember being on AOL 7.0, the moment that I realized that the internet combined with phones, I started thinking about my contacts and then my emails. And I'm like, wait, these shits are going to combine? Like, I liked these exclusive lifestyles. I liked being able to exclusively email somebody. I liked being able to exclusively call somebody. This is going to make shit easier for people. Shit shouldn't be easy for. And I think that's kind of what started the like stupid people being the loudest. Like,
no,
the availability of everything just became so available to the lowest common denominator.
But the key is
like what's bringing us down.
But the key is, and I think about this all. This is what I like. I take Twitter off my phone for periods of time, and just like it's up to us as individuals. Is we just have to know when to separate from it, use it for the good as much as possible, and then we have to try to, because this stuff is addicting. And so we have to find ways to be able to live in the real world as much as possible with this. And a lot of people can't. But like I could just say, like it's those of us that can, because we are never going to be able to stop those people from saying that are with those mindsets that act in the way that they act on social media. We can never like stop that outside. Like we can block it and just keep going. But like we're exposed to it at such a high level on there. It's like, that's where it's like, but when you distance yourself from it, and I found this to be very true, life goes back to like pretty cool pretty quickly. So you just can't, we just got to be able to separate the two, but a lot of people can't. So
that's what I do on walks. I make sure on walks that like I look at the trees and I look at like if I see anybody else in public, I always like acknowledge them. I take in every sort of stimuli that isn't the stimuli where, okay, my door's open, anything can come in. That's what happens when you're online. My door's open, anything can come into it. Show me all the ads and whatnot. I'd rather look at, you know, a rock for 5 minutes when I'm outside on a walk than to scroll through my phone. Like the beauty of life is kind of, you know, undermined by the availability of technology, and you have to like draw the line for that healthy base. Like I consider food, like as you do, as like a medium to what you want to be. Like kind of like you are what you eat type of thing. So like I know that if I eat like chips, ice cream, and soda all simultaneously, I'm gonna have a piece of shit day. I'm gonna have a terrible ass day because I'm gonna feel like shit, you know. So I try to eat as much spinach, as much like, you know, protein that I can, and whenever I do that, I feel empowered and I feel strengthened. And honestly, like when you feel strengthened inside, it doesn't matter what technology you're consuming and what
what comes your way, because it's all perspective and that mindset. This is why I love you. You're the only person that's kind of talking about like how important a mindset is. And the coolest shit about it is that you fused it into a gimmick and then put it on entertainment as like a mediated, like streamlined fucking like way to be. And it's one of the, you're one of the coolest characters in the history of the business because of that. It baffles me that you're off TV. You know, I know that like you can't, you know, go to your 100% in the ring now. I feel like you're getting close to that.
I am. And that's by my choice. So just so you know, that is all. I've chosen to stay away till I've gotten healthy and can come back and do, because I don't want to be involved in it and anything. I want to finish what I came out to do. I don't want to do commentary. I don't want to just be behind. It's good to, I needed to be away for everything that happened. So for it to come back at a level that it should come back at, because time away is our best friend. And I just needed to get healthy. And I tell people, I've been very blessed to get my health back. And like anybody that thinks this isn't going to happen, you're out of your mind. Because like the fact that I'm as healthy as I am right now is a true miracle. So, but I appreciate the love and support, and it makes me happy that you understand that what this is and the mindset portion of it. And I think the coolest things are yet to come. And I enjoy doing this show and being able to talk to people like you. So thank you.
Yo, amen, bro. Every time I see you in person too, it's always like a great experience. One more thing. So we were talking about being starstruck by the business and like when you came in and oh wow, it's Triple H, oh wow, it's Stephanie or whatever. I remember going in for my interview at Titan. I call it Titan because it's fun. And so I walked through the detectors, I think at like one of the media buildings or something, because it was an interview for WWE. I don't know if I said that, but the first person that I walked past like storybook is Kevin Dunn, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is the guy that like I've been talking the most shit about in like the course of my years watching, because he's always in flipping the cameras and stuff. But like, you know, you look into the guy's career and it's like, wow, he did all this, and it's, you know, it's pretty, and what he is to the company is like super freaking important. He's willing to do whatever he has to do. So I respect him in that way. And I think the respect started when I walked past him. It's amazing what can happen when you actually see somebody in person, as opposed to being, you know, away from them, as opposed to being like just an onlooker or whatever. So yeah, I don't like, you know, loathe the guy anymore, and I didn't even say anything to him as I walked past, but I looked past, I'm like, oh shit, this is a real deal. This is what's happening. And yeah, I was there for like 6 months, and it was cool to like, you know, chill in the open bar parties that we used to throw. I was working for the network, so I was just basically like logging a lot of footage, but I got to log some monumental moments, which is real cool. Like
that's
Goldberg
awesome, yeah.
losing, which is Goldberg losing the streak, which is like one of my least favorite things that ever happened in the history of sport. But that was a moment for me. Do you remember? Okay, I'll leave on this question. Do you remember where you were when, or what happened when did you see Goldberg lose?
Yeah, that was. I don't remember. I don't remember like specifically where I was. I would imagine I was at home watching, where like normally what for that. But yeah, I remember that. But I was always a Kevin Nash fan of that. But I do agree. It just like it was everything. Once that kind of went away, everything kind of seemed to fall apart even more. It felt like so.
The phenomenon was still alive. You should not, you know, kill a phenomenon while it still lives. You know, you're not gonna take the red hat off of Mario.
Yeah, it was that's the problem though in doing those kind of characters too. It's tough. Yeah. He did it at such I don't know if that's ever going to be duplicated ever again, because the way the business is and how everybody's so kind of, they're like, it's like the business doesn't want to let anybody get too, it's crazy because wrestling has the freedom to do whatever they want. Like you just think like, why wouldn't you create a new star and with the right person and let them go 300-0 or undefeated for years? Like, cause you can really, but I think they're afraid of that's going to be a very popular character. And but once you beat that, it is you got to kind of do a character reset almost. Because it's tough playing that monster, that undefeated. And when you look like that, it's very, very difficult. And It's like me. I would much rather play the babyface version, the big guy Ryback, where I was like IC champion, where I sold more, and where I was still I could be beat, but I would it's almost you can get heat on you and you could work normal matches, but you have your moments of dominance and your fire ups. And I would rather work that because I could work with everybody like that, as opposed to the other way. Once you go through everybody, you're kind of done.
Right, exactly. I related to that. One more question. Like, so would you rather be in that section, in that arena that you just said, or would you rather be in your entrance versus Punk at Hell in a Cell? Like, what was a more favorable? Obviously, you know, storyline wise, one's over the other, but what's kind of like more comfortable to you, being a giant baby or being like the what's going to happen with him and like being micro judged? Like, how do you feel about being micro judged? Basically what I'm saying, like the spotlight's a little bit different. You know, I remember your IC run and IC fuse and stuff, but like when it comes to like the pinnacle of like how I think of you, it's you know, the Brad Maddox shit. Like,
yeah. That period was the first year and a half was or that was an incredible period. I'm fine with that. I didn't even pay attention to the micro, like you say micro, like I would just live in the moment. I was very rarely on my phone online. Like I didn't pay too much attention to anything. I didn't have social media like I have now. Even when I go back, like a lot of this stuff, I'm not going to pay a lot of attention to. I don't care what anybody that I don't know thinks. I never have with it. And but like you can't be when you're in that position. You just gotta go by the people that are around you and who you trust, and you've just got to know. Like I've always told people, you've got to want the goal. You got to know what you want more than the fear of rejection or failure with that. And I've always been pretty good at that, of like knowing what I want.
Really profound though.
Yeah, but that's the reason. That's what separates from the people that do things in their life to not. And I like try to remind people, you literally have to want the goal more than the fear of rejection or failure. That's it. That's one of the big secrets to life. And then those of us that can do that will keep going.
Thank you, Ryback. My name is Ryan too. So
nice to talk to you, Ryan. You're welcome on anytime. I appreciate and like talking to you, bud.
Thanks, man. I'll be back.
Thank you. Good deal. Thank you very much. Let me get to a super chat here. Bobby Reynolds, thank you very much. The stalker hates the super chats, guys. Yesterday was a nice little day on the super chat, so thank you. Do you wish that restaurants like Pizza Hut, the new crust pizza, like the crazy crust or stuffed cheese crust bites on the menu, just put it under special pizza and some with Taco Bell? Same with Taco Bell with their fries. Do I wish they would put like specialty items essentially under special pizza? Yeah, I see what you're saying. I wish they would actually, on like the apps and things, they would, if they would put like because you have to scroll sometimes and look for them, which isn't all that overly difficult. But if they just had like the new items or the specialty items, or I don't know, like a way of listing it where it was, but I'm pretty easy with that stuff. I'm not too picky. I'm not eating it enough to where, I do my one cheat meal a week and I already know what I'm going to get. Like this week's going to be pizza. I saw the review brought. I think there's a new garlic pizza out, at a new garlic epic stuffed crust pizza at Papa John's or Pizza Hut, one of the two. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing a pizza this week, it looks like. Which, by the way, I've got to message Phoenix. She's in town, but she's getting ready to leave once again, I think, after this weekend. So I got to see if I can get Phoenix for some pizza this week. If not, I got to see maybe Alexis. I want to get another guest on. We'll bring a new guest on here, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Take another caller. 1 second, guys. Bring on Dark. Is it Dark Curse? Dark Curse, yes.
Hey, what's up, Ryback?
Not much. How are you today, bud?
Good. Honestly, I really just have one question for you. And
Okay.
This is going off hypothetically, because you obviously haven't signed with anybody. If you did end up in AEW and you were going to go for the trios titles, who would you want to team up with to do that?
Oh, man. If the trios titles, there's two thought processes on this, on who. Oh, man. You know what I think would be really cool? I haven't seen anyone really do. I think, want to go with a group of a very similar guys, even though we're different in different ways. I would think I would do Ryback, Wardlow, and Hobbs. And we would do a Bash Brothers, like Mighty Ducks D2 with the Bash Brothers, like, you know, but with the three of us, have just a very strong style, ass kicking group of guys. I think that would be different and stand out.
Yeah, so I've seen a few times over at WWE where they've attempted to do the groups with the big guys like Indus Shear and stuff like that, and it doesn't always kind of work out.
Well, it doesn't work out because they lack fucking personality. I don't lack personality, so I'm not worried about that. It's all about how I know how to get over. I'm not even scared to say it. Like, I know how to get over and it's all how you conduct yourself, and you've got to just have the confidence is the name of the game with it. So those guys know enough where I think it could be very entertaining, and it's a very easy, simple story to tell as well. But that's like if you watch Mighty Ducks D2 with like the Bash Brothers with the guys, the two power players in there that started off enemies, and then they realize that they're a lot alike, and then they just kick everyone's ass, and like it's like I think there's a really cool thing you could do with that, hypothetically speaking.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say before I drop off here. Anybody who looks at fucking LA Knight and they're like, no, the guy's too old, I'll remind you that back when Ric Flair won the tag team titles at Evolution, the man was in his 50s.
Yep.
Age, only a number. So
people are just going to hate. That's all that it is. They just want people, the negative naysayers only want to try to take away opportunities from people doing it. So if it wasn't that, they will say something else. They're just constantly looking for anything to complain about. They don't matter. Keep moving on. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Thanks for giving me some of your time, Ryback. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. Take care.
You too.
Good deal. Thank you very much. Take a look here. Do another caller here, guys. Smalls, I did see your figure picture. Thank you. I retweeted that and posted it. Hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show. You might have to hit that speaker bottom left. We'll take a new caller here. MJP.
What's good, Ryback?
Not much. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Nothing, man. Just a lot going on today. Today's my birthday. I got tickets to go to Survivor Series in Chicago, bro. It's crazy.
Good deal. Happy birthday. How old are you?
I'm turning 17 today.
Well, congratulations. I hope you have a great one.
Yeah, man. It's been good so far.
Good deal.
And then, planning to go out later on today.
Well, be safe with whatever you do.
Yeah, man. So I just want to ask you a quick question.
All right.
About Survivor Series. Like, right now, what I've seen, it's Raw versus SmackDown. So, like, if you could give me, like, a dream team for a 5-on-5, what would it be?
Dream team for Survivor Series. Give me a team I'm taking on, so I could then.
I got you. You're gonna be taking on Roman. You're gonna take on Ricochet. Yeah, so Roman, Ricochet, LA Knight. I'm gonna throw in Goldberg because I know you really like to.
Yep.
You want to fight Goldberg. Yep. And I heard something about Booker T, so let's throw in Booker T in there. I heard
Good
something
deal.
about that too.
So I'm gonna go me, Brock, Bobby, Ziggler, Rollins.
Oh, that's a good team right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that team.
I like it. All right, man. Well, that's all I wanted to ask. Hope you have a good day, man.
You too. Thank you. And happy birthday once again.
Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you. Thank you. With that, guys, I appreciate everything. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up today's show. We'll be back tomorrow for another Ryback show. Like I said earlier, for Feed Me More Nutrition, guys, today and tomorrow, with that, I'm giving you guys a free Feed Me More Nutrition ISO Hungry tub of protein, the Vanilla Mocha 2-pound protein powder, a $49.99 value with a free $15 shaker bottle, guys. Just ordering any supplement or supplements, you got to purchase one or more supplements on feedmemore.com. Add that will pop up. Add the shaker and the protein powder. It'll be absolutely free to your order on ordering any supplements on there on feedmemore.com today and tomorrow. That's sign up for the email and text message program on there. This is the savings that's going out today and tomorrow. Just give you a huge discount every week for our loyal customers. We have a very high returning customer rate, and I like to take care of our good customers and just say thank you to you guys. And kind of that's a way to entice you to try the supplements and to hopefully sign up and to be a part of Feed Me More Nutrition with everything. We've got one more super chat that came in late here. Bobby Reynolds, thank you again. At least you know what you did on the ring, like hurting others and not lie about it. I'm sure there are those that do saw what you guys are talking about. I didn't really hurt them. I'm just doing my job for this show. Thank you very much, Bobby. I don't understand that one as much, but thank you with that. But thank you guys. As everything, Feed Me More Nutrition, feedmemore.com, and all the Ryback merch. iTunes reviews. If you've got a moment to go to iTunes, guys, it really helps us out on the audio. If you can leave a star rating on iTunes and write a review, it really, really helps getting those in and to keep moving up. I think we're at number 60 on the audio, even though we're a top listened in health and fitness and pro wrestling. The audio, I'm live on 6 platforms before we go on the audio. So it's a little bit of a disadvantage in that we're going to get less listens on the audio because more people are joining in on all the other platforms on the live. But if you can ever catch the live, if you could subscribe on there, catch it when you want, listen to bounce around different points, it helps up. And I really think we're going to get this to the top of the audio charts once again with everything like I was the first couple of years more often with that. But it's we're rocking over here. And I thank you guys for all the love and support. Let's have a good one, guys. Until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Hey Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications. For the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch, visit feedmemore.com.